The movie begins with construction workers digging deep to build an underground train station. A group of workers finds a strange cave with a terrible smell. They go inside to check it out, and are surprised to see huge piles of trash covering a large area. As they look around, they don't notice the giant spiders creeping nearby, or the strange tentacle moving behind them. Deeper inside, they find a big round object that looks like an egg, but they mistake it for a valuable gem. Suddenly, they hear a noise and get scared, but it's just their boss coming to see what is delaying the work. When the boss sees the egg, he tells the workers to take it out so they can sell it. Meanwhile, Chidong wanders off alone. He steps on some weird sticky goo, and his flashlight starts flickering. As he tries to fix it, he doesn't realize the light is waking something up. A huge creature begins to rise from the trash, and when Chidong sees it, he screams in fear. He rushes back to warn the others, but they can already hear the monster moving. Suddenly, a tentacle shoots out and grabs one of the workers. Everyone panics and starts running as more tentacles come out of the trash, grabbing as many people as they can. Chidong cries when he sees his brother being taken too, and the others have to pull him away. The group barely escapes the cave before a tentacle smashes the trash, making the piles collapse and blocking the entrance. Above ground near the construction site, He-Chi and his son Xiao-Ji are picking up nails from the road because they almost ruined their truck's tires. Just then, they notice a flock of birds flying away in fear, and a truck speeds down the road, rushing away from the site. He-Chi and Xiao-Ji step aside, and the truck rolls over the nails, shaking and dropping some boxes. The driver doesn't notice, and keeps going. He-Chi opens one of the boxes and finds the egg from the cave. Thinking he can sell it for a good price, he puts it in his truck. On the way home, Xiao-Ji presses his ear against the shell, and hears something moving inside, which scares him. But He-Chi thinks his son is just imagining things. When they get to the junkyard, He-Chi sees a fancy car parked near his house, and immediately feels upset. Before going inside, he removes his wedding ring. Inside, he finds his ex-wife Lin Na, who isn't happy that their son is living in such a messy place. To make things worse, her new fiancé Li Ren has brought expensive toys for Xiao-Ji, which He-Chi can't afford. Lin Na tells He-Chi that she's moving to another province and taking Xiao-Ji with her so he can have a better life. Li Ren adds that one day Xiao-Ji can take over his company, saying that the boy shouldn't be picking up trash like his father. This makes He-Chi angry, and he punches Li Ren, starting a fight. Lin Na tries to stop them, but they ignore her and bite each other like wild animals. The fight only ends when Lin Na leaves with Xiao-Ji, and Li Ren follows them. That night, He-Chi's father, Jiang Hai, is treating his son's wounds while watching TV. A news reporter is trying to talk about the missing workers at the construction site, but the TV signal keeps breaking. Outside, their dog is acting nervous, walking in circles near the truck. The egg has started to hatch, and it's making all the animals in the area restless. The dog starts barking, and Jiang Hai thinks someone is outside, so he goes to check. He sees the truck shaking and notices some strange goo dripping from it. When he looks through the window, he is shocked to see a tentacle inside. Terrified, Jiang Hai runs back inside to tell his son, but by the time He-Chi comes out, the truck is gone. Suddenly, something falls to the ground, and when they look up, they see that the truck has been lifted into the air by several giant tentacles. The monster sees the men and quickly hides inside the truck, making it crash back onto the ground. Before they can react, the tentacles come out again to attack, so they rush back into the house. He-Chi is so scared that he almost locks his father outside before realizing and letting him in. Just then, they hear a car approaching, and are shocked to see Lin Na returning with Xiao-Ji. As soon as the boy runs toward his father, a tentacle grabs him. Lin Na immediately grabs her son's arms and tries to pull him free, but the monster is too strong and won't let go. Luckily, He-Chi arrives with a knife and cuts the tentacle, saving Xiao-Ji. Then, the family works together to pour gasoline over the tentacles and set them on fire with a lighter. The monster screams in pain as it slowly burns, while He-Chi realizes he has lost his chance to make money. Once they are safely inside the house, He-Chi wonders how the creature got there, and Xiao-Ji explains that it came from the egg. Just then, Li Ren arrives with his bodyguards. Seeing that everyone is safe, he gets angry at Lin Na for calling him and disturbing his important meeting for no reason. Suddenly, the ground shakes, and the lights flicker, as an even bigger monster appears in the yard. The tentacles begin squeezing the house, making it fall apart. The roof breaks open, and everyone sees the terrifying face of the creature. It tries to enter through the windows, making everyone panic. Without thinking, Li Ren runs away, not caring about Lin Na. His frightened bodyguards follow him, but the monster roars and throws them around, smashing them into piles of trash. It grabs Li Ren, looks at him closely, and then tosses him aside. Then, it turns its attention to the family, who try to escape. However, Zhang Hai falls, and He-Chi stops to help him. The monster takes the chance to grab Xiaoji, pushing both parents away. After sniffing the boy, the monster jumps into the ground and disappears with him. He-Chi and Lin Na rush to the hole left behind, but somehow, it is already closed. Lin Na is frozen in shock while He-Chi desperately digs with his bare hands, trying to get his son back. After a while, he gives up and tries to comfort Lin Na, but she breaks down, slapping and pushing him away. On the TV, reporters continue talking about a possible monster roaming around, making Lin Na so angry that she turns it off. A few minutes later, their grief is interrupted by a marine biology professor named Lao Jia and his assistant Ah Lei, who have been tracking the monster with a special device. Lao Jia excitedly asks many questions before revealing that he is an old friend of Zhang Hai. After examining a tentacle, the professor explains that they killed the baby of the cave monster. When the big creature came looking for its egg, it smelled Xiaoji and thought he was its baby. This means the boy is still alive. Meanwhile, Xiaoji wakes up in the garbage cave just in time to push away a huge spider that was about to fall on him. As he calls for his parents, a strange group of insects flies around his head. Then, the monster appears, making Xiaoji step back in fear. The creature opens its outer face shell to reveal what looks like a smile. It also licks the boy, trying to calm him down. However, Xiaoji is still scared and hates being licked, so the monster roars in frustration. At that moment, they both hear music and look around, confused. Soon they realize the sound is coming from the monster's stomach. The creature suddenly screams in pain and collapses while Xiaoji watches, puzzled. The monster rushes to hide behind the garbage and tries to spit out the machine, but it can't. Seeing a chance to escape, Xiaoji tries to run, but he can't find a way out. He spots a radio in the trash and tries to use it, but it doesn't work. Hearing the monster cry in pain makes Xiaoji feel sorry for it, so he decides to help. He notices some wires hanging from the creature's mouth and starts pulling. After struggling for a while, he finally removes the machine from its body. The monster immediately feels better and lifts Xiaoji up as a way to thank him. Then, it gently puts him back down before collapsing onto the garbage to take a nap. At the junkyard, Lao Jia tells the family they should give up on finding their son, but Zhang Hai reminds the professor that he ruined his life years ago when he sued the factory where Zhang Hai worked, causing him to lose his job. Feeling guilty, Lao Jia decides to help and takes the family to his lab. Inside, there are creepy statues of all the monsters he has studied. Lao Jia explains that the only way to save Xiaoji is to put the creature to sleep using tranquilizers strong enough to knock out animals bigger than elephants. He also reveals that he has created a chemical that could kill the monster, but they should only use it as a last resort if the beast turns out to be truly dangerous. Meanwhile, Chi-Dong can't stop thinking about his lost friends and starts planning his revenge. In the cave, Xiaoji watches the monster eat garbage and tries to find better food, but there is nothing edible around. When the creature offers him some trash, Xiaoji realizes it eats garbage because there is nothing else to eat. Noticing that the monster laughs while eating, Xiaoji starts throwing garbage into its mouth as a game, and the creature happily plays along. Seeing that the monster isn't bad, Xiaoji starts playing with it, pretending to be a superhero fighting a strong enemy. The monster even falls over, playing along with Xiaoji's imaginary battle. Later, Xiaoji falls asleep on the creature's belly but wakes up after hearing a strange noise. When he gets up to check, he is suddenly grabbed by a stranger. It turns out to be one of the construction workers, who wants to kill the monster and save the boy. Xiaoji tells him to stop, explaining that the creature doesn't eat humans, but the worker thinks the boy is confused and reminds him that all his co-workers are dead. The man carefully sneaks around the cave, trying to get closer to the monster while avoiding its tentacles. However, the creature senses him and wakes up, immediately chasing after him. Panicking, the worker grabs Xiaoji and starts running, but in his fear, he accidentally drops the boy into a pool of dirty water. As the monster comes closer, the man gets scared and runs away without helping Xiaoji, who begins to drown. Meanwhile, the worker is trapped with nowhere to go. Suddenly, a giant spider appears behind him. The monster sees the spider and lets out a loud roar, scaring the spider away and making the worker pass out. Then the creature quickly uses its tentacle to pull Xiaoji out of the water just in time. It gently places him on the ground and tries to wake him up, but Xiaoji doesn't respond. Seeing this, the monster starts to cry. At the same time, Lao Jia gets ready to go look for the monster with the boy's parents. While waiting in He-Chi's car, Lin Na finds some strange medicine and a piece of paper with He Chi's wedding ring attached. After reading the paper, she realizes that He Chi has a chronic illness and starts crying. When He Chi joins her, Lin Na asks why he never told her about his sickness, and wonders if that's why he divorced her. He Chi tells her she is overthinking, and that all he cares about is spending time with his son. Their conversation is interrupted when Zhang Hai arrives, saying it's time to leave. When they reach the tunnel, they are surprised to see a group of workers led by Qi Dong using explosives to reopen the cave. The workers tell them to leave because they are about to release poison to kill the monster. He Chi begs them to stop, warning that Zhao Ji is still alive and the poison will kill him too. However, Qi Dong argues that the monster must die before it attacks the town. He Chi scolds him, pointing out that his plan might also kill any survivors trapped inside. While they argue, Zhang Hai takes advantage of the moment to secretly mess with the workers' gas machine. Pushing through the group of workers, the family finally enters the cave. As they move past the piles of garbage, Ah Lei uses her tracking device to follow the monster's signal. He Chi finds Xiao Ji's keychain on the ground, giving him hope. Eventually, they come across the monster lying next to Xiao Ji's body, and their hearts sink as they fear the worst. The parents want to run to their son, but Zhang Hai stops them, reminding them that they can't take on such a massive creature. The monster hears them but doesn't react immediately. Lao Jia fires a tranquilizer dart, but the creature easily knocks it away with its tentacle. Now angry, the beast lets out a loud roar and puts its face mask back on. He Chi quickly fires a second shot, while Lin Na throws a bottle of the chemical compound directly at the creature. At first, the monster seems unaffected. It even takes a moment to carefully place Xiao Jie in a safer spot before turning to face the group, ready for a fight. However, just as it steps forward, the tranquilizer takes effect, and the creature collapses, unconscious. The parents immediately climb over the piles of garbage to reach their son. They press their ears to his chest and are relieved to hear his heartbeat. He's still alive. Meanwhile, Lao Jia takes a blood sample from one of the monster's tentacles, while Ah Lei records the process. To their shock, the tranquilizer doesn't work as expected, and the monster suddenly wakes up, now furious. It reaches out with its tentacle to grab Xiao Ji from the humans, but before it can, a worker shoots an arrow, stopping it. More workers appear, surrounding the beast, determined to kill it. Enraged, the creature fights back, knocking several men down. The workers refuse to back off and begin throwing hooks at the monster to hold it in place. One man pulls out a flamethrower and starts burning the beast's body, but a tentacle quickly takes him down. During the chaos, some workers find Lao Jia's bag and steal the poison he created. Lao Jia and Ah Lei try to stop them, but they are outnumbered. Qi Dong grabs the bottle and throws the poison directly into the monster's face. The creature roars in pain, but it still doesn't die. Another worker prepares dynamite, but Zhang Hai tackles him to stop him. Qi Dong then fires a massive arrow straight into the monster's chest, trying to finish it off. At that moment, Xiao Ji regains consciousness, and is horrified to see the workers attacking the creature over and over with chemicals. He screams at them to stop, crying as he watches his friends suffer. Seeing that Xiao Ji is alive, the monster gathers all its remaining strength to protect him. It fights back harder, throwing the workers onto the surrounding garbage piles. However, one worker manages to throw the lit dynamite, causing a small explosion that shakes the entire cave. The impact makes Xiao Ji lose his balance and fall. The injured monster immediately reaches out and catches him just in time, leaving everyone stunned. But before the boy can react, a huge pile of trash starts collapsing above him. Without hesitation, the creature shields Xiao Ji with its own body, taking the full impact. Already weak from its injuries, the additional damage worsens its condition. Xiao Ji cries, begging his parents to help save his friend, but the workers ignore him and surround the wounded creature. They attack again, piercing the monster's belly. The beast tries to reach for Xiao Ji one last time, but before it can, Qi Dong delivers a final, fatal blow, killing it. Afterward, Qi Dong pulls his weapon from the creature's body and notices something surprising: there are no human remains inside. Just then, a group of survivors emerges from their hiding spots. They explain that the real killers were the giant spiders, not the monster. In fact, the creature had been protecting them from the spiders all along. Every time it attacked, it was only acting in self-defense. The workers drop their weapons in shock, and Qi Dong stares at the monster's lifeless body, realizing that he has become the real monster. It's later shown that He Chi's house is in much better condition, thanks to the money he has made by giving interviews about their terrifying experience. Whenever he tells reporters that the monster was actually protecting his son, Nobody believes him because people assume all monsters are evil. Frustrated, He-Chi reflects on the damage humans are causing to the planet, and wonders who the real monsters are. Meanwhile, Lin-Na has broken up with her fiancé. She asks He-Chi to marry her again, and he happily accepts. In a symbolic gesture, he throws away his medicine before embracing her, choosing to live in the moment with his family. What's your thoughts about this movie? Let us know in the comment section. Subscribe and turn on notification to get more movie recaps. Don't forget to like and share this video.